Hey guys, how you all doing? It's Tilted here, and I just wanted to show a really nice series I had. So this was against Sixth Sense, or Sixth Affiliate. This was actually a challenger series, you know, for my, yeah, so basically he challenged me for my T20 spot. Because that's something that's currently going on in KOTH. And I thought I'd just post commentary there. Sorry that it is post commentary rather than actual, you know, live one, but it was just so, these few games were so good, I honestly just had to upload them. So I start off by spiking. I was going DFA of course, because DFA is best strategy. And yeah, at this point in time, you know, my kind of thoughts are, to just get a BA and we'll be chilling, because DFA pretty much beats a lot of strategies on here, including Heli if you play it well, you know, with the Spectre spam and all that, and a lot of stuff like that. So he's going with sub, which really shocked me at this point. I honestly thought, you know, he's going sub ninja, okay, I still outlast, I've played well. I mean, like, I was going sub ninja versus STCC, and he just slapped me up. That's because he's got great micro and great late game management, money management. Either way, so I eco to 252, because that's the best start for DFA when going for a BIA. Yeah, because this is definitely a DFA BIA map. Aggro is just not advised on here, because, you know, passive is so much better. So I go for the farm here. I greed these pinks because this spot's actually really good. Set it to last. It occasionally whiffs, or like misses, but it's good. I send them a few pinks to force the sub. You know, it's always good to force the upgrades. That means they can't farm and pressure you as much. So it's starting to leak here, and I realize he's constant sending. So I go for another dart, you know, just kind of clean up a little bit, because the first trip spot kind of whiffs every so often. Yeah, as you can see here, she's kind of targeting random shit. But the last dart's cleaning up. I'm leaking a little bit here, but farming is my priority, you know, because I'm playing BI. So there's nothing I can really effectively pressure sub with. He's sending constant blacks, which I'm not sure about. Well, no, he didn't send constant blacks. Maybe he just tried to force the thing. Oh no, he is sending it. Yeah. So he's sending constant blacks, which I'm honestly not sure about versus 2 trips. Because yeah, in his situation I do believe it would be best to just farm on, because you can pressure later, and of course, you know, then you can be earlier. However, that he chooses to constant into round 7. Again, I'm not too sure about this. He goes for the farm, I go for my farm, because I realise, you know, I'm kind of chilling. Though, yeah, because it is round 7, the green starts to come out with the AI, I don't want to leak too much, so I go for a O2 a dart. Just to clean up a little bit more, to auto-assist the other dart. So we're out farming him at this point. He's definitely out-ecoing us. He goes in for some yellows. I preemptively buy this bow because I thought he was going straight for yellows, but that didn't seem to be the case. Okay, so I actually placed my spot a little bit high. Well, this may be turning into my jug. But I realised later in the game that I've placed it a little bit high, which does negatively impact me, but as you can see, he's got a really handsome eco. Like, his eco is very good here. I decided to go for the farm here. Yeah, P farms on as well. As I said, I could have went for yellows, but it's just not worth it when going for BIA. I think I afford the jug, no problem. I see a bomb, I'm like, yo, what? Yeah, I honestly didn't expect this here. I afford the jug with no real problems, but as you can see, the jug kind of targets up for some reason, which I honestly just didn't understand. Like, I fully and truly just didn't understand it. I go for another dart here. I think the jug whiffs a little bit more. That doesn't seem to be the case. Oh yeah, I spiked some region lead leagues because a few of them insta-regrew, and that wasn't too nice. I think I farm here. Yep, that's the right thing to do. He goes just for a camo sub rather than a reactor, which is also very good for him, because I said I can't efficiently pressure him. Efficiently meaning, you know, good for the money. So yeah, he just farms on. He greeds a little bit, but I can't really punish that if I want to go for the BI. Of course, you know, always aim for around 14 BI with DFA, because that's just optimal late game. It sets you up the best for late game even. So he's still chilling with just the camo sub. I mean, like, he doesn't really need more defense because I'm not pressuring him. So I'm about to go for a BI here, I think. Yeah, at this point in time, I didn't know if the money was going to be there for me, so I was considering selling this third trip, but then I realized, oh yo, I actually do have the money. So he manages to go from a very nice 430 eco around 14 BA, which puts him in a massive advantage late game, because the eco is going to matter so much. However, you know, just getting off the BA with a theoretically later game strat is probably the best move here. He just boosts regen leads. I think I try and greed this. Well, I end up boosting because I had some bad insta regrows. Yeah, I end up boosting it. By the way, I just played the series like just maybe 5 minutes ago. I just thought this was so good. So that's why I kind of know what's going on here. So I boosted this. I honestly don't think he's going to re-rush, so I don't really worry about it. Does have quite a bit of money stored up. At this point in time, I think I could have actually went for a region lead rush retrospectively. You know, to force the reactor, but that, yeah, it doesn't seem like I'll go for that. I just kind of spam trips at this point because that's the best thing to do. You know, it helps for Moabs, it helps for AI. Overall, just very good. He was probably trying to force on the boost again to go into Moab. I realized I don't need that. So I actually go for a Moab here. You know, because I realized he really doesn't have that much defense. Of course, I follow up with blacks because you should always layer blacks under your Moabs. He tries to spike, boost. But the lead's kind of cucking here a little bit. I mean, like, he got the spikes off successfully, which so that put him at an advantage. I honestly thought he was going to die here, you know, looking at it, but it does seem he survived. Yep, he did survive. If it wasn't for the spikes, he'd definitely be dead. Yeah, so I rolled on him there, because I honestly thought he'd be dead. Yeah, he should be rushing me with leads, because then I'd need to get a jug up top. However, he just didn't do that. As you can see, he's out-ecoing by a considerable amount, but that's just due to the nature of his strategy. Yeah, I think he's up, what, like 210 eco? And then he goes for a double BI here, which absolutely shocked me. Yeah, I was like, yo, I'm not going to allow that. So I send a BFB here, because it forces a cash out, probably a lot of defense. He has 6k saved up, which I didn't know at this point. I probably should have been keeping track of this. Actually, sorry, because I honestly thought he was just trying to go late game and I'm about to kill him here. But I guess that just didn't account for the 6k that he just had. He just had chilling, yeah. So, Rainbows and AI, again, he could have layered leads in here to really mess with me, but I guess he was just focused on defending at this point. I go for a factory, I cash out my BA, so it's probably worth it, I believe. It's how I boost this, and I'm like, yo, he's actually going to defend this thanks to the reactor and the impact, yeah. I'm like, yo, what? I was considering sending a second BFB, but I just deemed it not worth it. Go for my ace here. It's just kind of played the safer side. I didn't know, yeah, I wasn't really keeping track of when the round was going to be ending. So, yeah. I'd go for that. I could have went for the farm, you know, I could have went for the 4-2, retrospectively, but I just decided not to. I think I'll do a bit of ace micro here, yeah. Maybe, okay, yeah, a fair bit of ace micro here. As you can see, he's still out-equaling us by a great amount, so he's at a massive advantage, and I guess he's just storing up money at this point in time. I'm not sure if that's the best case, but he's probably just maybe anticipating a few BFBs. I don't go for that. I just send one region rainbow to kind of just get my eco to a multiple of 5. I'm not sure why he's shocked facing here, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I honestly thought, yo, you know, since he doesn't have a stall, because I know that DFA outlasts Ninja Sub on here if played perfectly. Since he didn't have a stall, then, you know, I thought I'd be winning this, surely, but yeah, that's kind of why I was heart-eying that. Plus, it was just a good game thus far. Okay, so at this point in time, I think I've got the game in the bag. I was surprised when he managed to go for the factory there. But yeah, I go for my second factory very shortly. Managed micro the ace a little bit as well. You know, trying to clean up the ceramics, because the ceramics are quite dangerous if you don't clean them up. So we defend that no problem. Yeah, as you can see, he's really out-equaling us thanks to that double BI. That double BI put him in a great position. I was considering getting up like a second ODS for this round. It was all dependent on whether he was going to be layering for us. Or sorry, sending more, you know, yeah, sending stuff here. I was considering it, but in the end I decided to go for a second jug. Micro the ace a little bit more to clean up the ceramics, and I think, yeah, the ace just cleans it up really nicely. So that's why the ace is just really good. Also, the ODS, if you're good with the ODS, if you're proficient with it, then it's going to be really good. I'm like, yo, how did... Okay, yeah, he sold a BA there. But as you can see, he's out-ecoing us by 800 eco, and that's just a massive amount late game. You know, these following few rounds, he's going to really grab the farm lead and take it for himself. I kind of just, again, micro the ace here, I believe, yep, and farm on as best I can. Cleaning up the ceramics where possible. And yeah, just chilling overall. I'm like, okay, so I think I sell the ace and the spelt here shortly, because that's just the thing to do. Oh no, I wait for the things to be cleaned up. So I saw that he cashed out his double BA, which means I cashed out my BA and kind of just went for farms here. again, the 600 eco difference is going to really matter farms-wise. And I mean, like, he already has the lead on us by a factory, so yeah, as you can tell, he's going to be out-farming us by a considerable amount later. I was kind of just buying darts here to try and reach max fan club, because then you get the most use out of it, the most efficiency out of it. I fan club a little bit earlier. Retrospectively, I could have a fan club later to get more value out of it, then it would have, you know, done more with the round. This is about his TV glitch where it looks like he's leaking. He's not, you know, in game he just wasn't. He was chilling. Again, I could have went for a farm there. Yeah, I could. Oh no, I did go for the farm there. Lovely. Yeah, so I go for the farm there, then I go for a fan club. You know, these next few rounds aren't all that entertaining. So yeah, it's just kind of farming and defending as cheaply as possible to get the most farms. Yeah, I'm kind of just placing these farms, seeing where I can place them. I don't think I can place any more farms. Maybe in the center of the bottom 0 or the O, but that's going to be my future ace spots, because I'm going to be spectre spamming. That's just the thing to do with DFA late, if you have a BIA game. If not, then you just don't have the money to spectre spam. I think I've got these, these 2 max, so I go for a fan club here, and I'll be going for a spectre shortly. As you can see, at this point in time, each has a crazy amount of money, and he's just building and buying defense. So he's going for some impact up top, which is probably a good move. Maybe clean up the leaks from the BFBs or the ZMGs that are going to be sent soon. I go for an ODS. I sell my jug because it's not necessarily late. Yeah, I go for a jug spam and buy a max fan club. Buy 4 fan clubs for full uptime. I was honestly expecting to be receiving ZMGs earlier, but yeah, I kind of spam the ODSs. Sorry, not the ODSs, the Spectres, because they just really help late. Especially, you know, because the fan club you can only stack 10 of. Yeah, so just in a BI game, it's really worth it at this point. I don't rush him here, but I just don't believe it worth it. I think he could defend it perfectly fine at this point in time. So I just don't rush him. I think I was going to wait for around 35 in my head. I was also focusing on defending, keeping, you know, the fan clubs up and running, kind of watching how far the ZMGs get. He's probably just going to be constant sending at this point, constantly sending spaced. I'm like, yeah, I'm contemplating whether I actually need to, GZ this, ground 0 this, you know, because I thought the Spectres might be able to clean up the BFBs. However, yeah, I just boost and hope that cleaned it up. Which it did. I'm not sure why I'm GZing at this point. Maybe the Battles TV just isn't showing what happens being up there, but yeah, so I'm GZing early retrospectively. I could have been GZing later to get more value out of my farms and things like that, you know? Yeah, so I sell the farm here because I'm starting to run low on cash. Keeping that fan club up, just GZing as best I can. He's just chilling because I'm not rushing him. Yeah, I think I will allow him on the following round. But yeah, as you can see, this is going late, and this is pretty cool already. Yeah, so, okay, no, maybe the Spectres didn't manage to clean up both my labs, but yeah, overall, so he's starting to all out me here. I'm like, yo, I should probably all out him back. But I really kind of focus up on defending at this point, keeping the fan club up if I decide to actually use the ability. Yeah, I'm trying to get my micro down as best as possible. Yeah, there we go, we just use the fan club. Trying to get, you know, those UMGs nice and popped, because I know we can definitely last a lot longer. STCC has survived up to around 42 of this, so around 35 UMGs just shouldn't be that bad, but unfortunately my micro is quite sluggish. I just see these UMGs and I'm like, yo, come on. Trying to get the GZs off. He's defending my counter rush with no problems whatsoever. As you can see, we're kind of popping these down, like, but we're having a few issues. However, we're actually doing alright. I keep having to sell farms because the GZs really cost a lot, especially later, where you just keep spamming them. It really is just a suction on your money. So he's out of farms here. He's just fully all out to me at this point. I'm just really trying to defend this. Like, I've got tunnel vision at this point. Just like, come on, GZ, and trying not to mess up. Because yeah, 7 micro's not that good, so I've really fully tunnel visioned here. I'm trying to sell trying to sell Spectres here just to keep my money going. I'm like, yo, I know I can defend this, because look, everything's already pretty much popped. It's just a matter of if I can keep the things done, because if I manage to defend this, I just send ZMGs here and I just win at that point. I'm like, yo, that's scary, but I managed to sell something just in time for that. And yeah, I just keep GZing, that's all I have to do, right? I keep the fan club up, I keep GZing. I'm like, yo, I'm about to die, but no, I don't, because I'm tilted, I'm God. But yeah, ooh, I leaked there, and that's scary. I'm like, yo, I can defend this, I've got this, but then I realized, oh fuck, I'm out of money. But I managed to defend it, and then I get up, oh? Yeah, so there was actually some things I don't know, I just didn't manage to get the last thing off, but in the actual game, there was like only like Moabs, which means I was 1 GC away from defending. Yeah, I was really pissed at this point. So I'm like, yo, I was 1 GC off. However, you know, Sixth Sense played this really well. To be fair, I think I should have countered or around 35, because I managed to defend around 35 CMGs, no problem. Yeah, I should have just fully countered, but he played that really well. And overall, it was a great game. So yeah, of course, like that, thumbs that up. Moving on to game 2. So this was my losing map. I, of course, choose offside, because offside, it's just like my home field. Okay, so I'm actually trying to speed up the start, because the starts are pretty universal everywhere. You know, when it comes to DFA versus DFA. He goes DFA. This is KOTH rules, which means he could have went like Dartling or something. He could have went Darth on Bomb or some, but you know, variation of an aggro strategy. However, he does decide to go DFA as well. Yeah, so I leaked down to 133 because I just timed it well. He leaks down to 131. That's insignificant, but I don't know, it's just something to say, I guess. So I of course, you know, just send my reds instantly, because that's the style I like to play. It's Simba's style. So yeah, big up Simba. I use the second spot here. I place the dart so I don't really start chasing. Because if you start chasing with your trips, then you can be prone to layering and leaking, you know, lives that you don't have to leak. I go straight into pinks here because that's what really gets the lives down. Yeah. By the way, sorry if there's any background noise. I just can't, yeah. I'm having some mic issues. So I'm going to constant send pings to 304 or 305 eco, and whatever comes first. I set my second dart to strong here, but clean up the pinks. Set my first dart to close. Really trying to clean them up. He's got to 314. Which is a very unorthodox style in this current meta. However, you know, he might be able to pull it off. It's probably an old equal point that he's just not used to, because Sixth Sense is a great player, but he's just yeah, he hasn't played in a while, so he's just de-rusting at this point in time. That's not gonna stop me from, you know, try hard and all that. So I go in for a bit of greens here by sending 1 black first. If I send a few more blacks, then I could have constant send a little bit longer. Like if I send 3 blacks, then I can send till like 312. Like constant send greens until 312, which probably is a better move here. If I don't do that, I'm like, yo, okay, so I think I have enough money for Spout. I'm just waiting on that, but unfortunately I didn't. I was kind of waiting on it, because then, you know, he sends more if I wait to place my Spout till I can fully afford it. So yeah, I think we could probably got a few more sets out of him, which is probably, you may think it's insignificant, but it does add up. It does add up. Okay, so we actually bait the spell here. Round 8, this is pretty uneventful. We both had our spells up, so it wouldn't be it would be unwise to rush each other with yellows. I'm out ecoing him slightly by what, 21 eco. We have practically the same farms. He has 3 more lives for whatever that counts for. I should try and bait the second spell here as well as get a little bit more eco. I think that's going to be helpful in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so moving on to round 10, I have a lot of money saved up, which means I know I can afford my jug quite readily without too many issues, so I do afford that instantly. I send him some leads, he gets up his jug, yeah, so right now we both looking quite good. It doesn't seem there's any issues. I go for a second spot immediately because I had some bad insta regrows. That's just a recurring theme, yeah, I leaked there a little bit. But some bad insta regrows. Just this whole series I didn't have too much luck with the regrows. At this point in time, we're out ecoing him thanks to those yellow sands. He's out-livesing us. He'd go for a farm here. I can't actually save up my money because I want to bait the third spot at this point in time. Yeah, it's not really a bait though. I mean, like I did force it. I could have maybe sent more eco balloons rather than zebras retrospectively. Yeah, that's kind of what the purpose or the intention behind that rush is. Get a bit of eco and force the third spot. Okay, so I go for plantation there. He goes for a bit of a rush here. I spikes the back because, you know, spikes are lives, and it's always good to have lives. This is a really good bait by him. Like, I could have defended that with a jug and a spout, but he manages to force the second spout, so that was well played by him. Okay, so he goes for a farm here. I go for a farm, I believe. Do I? Okay, apparently I don't. But yeah, going into round 15, I think I'm trying to get a bit more eco, maybe force a boost, force a few things. That's what's in those regrows. Due to the way that, yeah, since this, actually that's a bit complex, I'm not going to go into that just yet, but he defends that really well, with no real issues. I send him some boosted things, try and force yet another boost. I'm like, yeah, okay, he's rushing me, so I kind of stopped sending here. I could have constant sent, potentially. Of course, I'm my jug to first and my sport to first to help with the defense. We are out equaling him by a significant margin here. However, he does have quite the farm lead on us. So yeah, I'd say this game's pretty close, all things considered. Yeah, that seems about right. I kind of just place my I'll pre-place my darts just in case he goes for a Moab here. He pre-places a few himself. Okay, so I have a money pool here just to see what he goes for, and of course I rush. I do a bit of layering here with the AI, which I honestly thought would force a boost. But now he had the money for a jug. I'm still impressed with that layering. So he just boosts that. Oh yeah, sorry, that did force a boost. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. So now his lead is diminishing on us, especially now that he's down a boost. Our eco is looking very, very nice indeed. I think I should have been farming here, but I think I'm going for going for a bit of a rush. Also just getting up the eco, because the eco really matters with my style. He goes for a Republic, which means I knew that he was trying to go for a passive factory. It's a pretty good style, it's sufficient. I'm like, yo, I don't want to be farmed too hard, so yeah, I go for a farm there. And since he's playing passive factory, I doubt he'd be rushing us, so yeah, I'm kind of under defending here for the aggressive meta. Like, I should have a lot more farms down. Sorry, a lot more defense down, but I don't. At this point, I'm like, yo, I just want eco. I simply just want eco at this point. So white spam into pinks, really get up that eco, because that's what's going to make the difference. To be fair, I think I could have probably went for a farm here rather than spamming to this, but it ends up working out. Yeah, and we end at exactly 1200 eco, which is very good. It's a good amount. It's a good amount. He's out farming us by quite the margin here. However, I think I want to be catching up due to the eco. So that's pretty cool. I go for a factory here after selling my spot, which is really good for us because we have a great eco lead on him, like 800 eco, or approximately 800 eco, so it's like 728 eco. He goes for some zebras here to probably force the boost. I'm like, nah, I don't want to boost to that, so I go for that spot. I was just trying out the new jug spot that I've seen Chief use. Yeah, it's pretty uneventful currently. However, yeah, I think we're going to be having a nice lead on him, farms-wise, when he comes later. But the passive factory styles have a really, really good style, because it counters aggro quite well. Well, stupid aggro. It counters stupid aggro well. Okay, so we got factory up around 20, I think I got mine 21. Yeah, we got mine up 21. But, the amount of bananas that you get within that time frame really makes the difference. Like, he has like 10k on us approximately. But I want to be catching up soon, just due to that 700 eco lead. Like, yeah, okay, I'm being out-farmed here pretty badly. This is kind of what I'm just thinking to myself, so I'm like, okay, I probably want to boost this next round, just greed it out. So I've got 3 boosts, and that's a great amount of boosts. But yeah, I really just don't want to be out-farmed, basically, so boosts are... Plus, boosts are only worth 9k late game, so I boost instantly, I sell my other thing, go for the factory, and his lead starts to diminish at this point. He does have a 4-2, so he still is leading, but that lead is smallly shrinking, and I'm starting to catch up, clawing my way back up to him. Yeah, I just kind of sell that. I could have probably boosted that. I'm not sure why I did that. But yeah, I could have got like 2 more darts up, boosted that, and be chilling. So, of course, I don't want to boost here, because boosting bad, especially when you can defend. If you can defend, don't boost. But if you can't, then of course you should. I'll leak a little bit more than I wanted, due to bad ace micro. And yeah, again, his lead is just, you know, shrinking and shrinking, which I'm really liking here. Really liking. But we both have 2 boosts. And just to try and get that lead, or in an attempt to get this lead, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to boost this round, yeah. Because now his farm lead is pretty much non-existent, and my eco lead is still a solid 700. I think I'm actually farming him. I mean, I could just have more money in defense, but that's really going to be insignificant shortly. Goes in for some regen leads. I honestly don't think I needed to buy a bolt here. I could have tried for a farm. Yeah, I mean, I could sell that instantly and go for a farm, because the trips did great work there. Kind of stopped the leads from regrowing instantly, and I know with this jog spot I could be microing it. So now we have practically the same farms. Again, he has a bit more money in defense, however, that eco lead is just going to matter so much very shortly. Especially with these longer rounds, you know, the later you go, the kind of the longer the rounds are, which means eco pays off even more. And here, I believe the lead starts. Yeah, I've got a bit of a lead on him. He does some really nice ace micro here. Like, yeah, I think that's circle path, and that cleans up amazingly. He doesn't need to fan club as much. He actually sells his fan club to... Yeah, he sells his fan club to Greed there, which is an amazing play by him. However, you know, he played this amazingly so far, but that's not going to get him so far in this aggro meta. So I think he just sells his stuff in ODSs here. Oh, sorry, fan clubs here. That's the probably thing I would do. No, he actually decides to greed this out. Okay, no, he does decide to fan club, but probably he decided that the greed wouldn't pay off. We're both kind of chilling here. Same farms, I believe. Let me count that. 4, 5. Yeah, 4, 5. And this is where the lead starts to develop, I believe, for me. As you can see, even in this aggro meta, his defense are really efficient. Yeah, his defense are really efficient, which means he's not probably using as much money or losing as much money as I am in defending, which means I think he's actually keeping up with me in farms. He is 7 factories. I am 5, 8. I'm 8. So I'm up a factory at this point. I think I'll go for 1 more. That's probably what I should do. Okay, no, apparently I don't go for it anymore, because, yeah, I think I just heard Simba say at one point in time that farming on round 31 is just not worth it, because the factories don't pay off. Maybe it was after round 31, but I'm not sure. Regardless, I end up not doing that. So I think I set my trips to strong here, buy the fan clubs, try and prepare for the UMG rushes that are to come. I'm honestly not sure about him farming on here, because I just don't think the factories can be paying themselves off. He starts to send near enough the end around 32. Oh no, there is 1 more wave, but yeah, he sends that a lot later than I do. I kind of just queue up a few ZMGs for him, because I have a lot of spare money, and I'm just in a good position right now. I see he sends me a ZMG fan club as soon as I could. Again, just queuing up more ZMGs, because I really have nothing else to spend my money on. Retrospectively, I could have maybe queued less ZMGs and went for Spectres, because Spectres, as said previously, helps out a lot late game. However, I just don't decide to do that apparently. I still have 1 boost. I guess I'm trying to save that for the most efficient time. You know, maybe for later, or yeah, for a more intense part of the game. He starts to spam Spectres here. Sorry, not spam Spectres. Well, he decides to buy a few Spectres here, which I'm not sure about. But yeah, I think he should just be rushing me at this point, like constant ZMGs rather than his kind of space things. At this point, yeah, I thought this is a bit sketchy for him. Like, I didn't think he was gonna live this, and unfortunately he doesn't. I honestly think that I would have won that one, regardless, just due to the lead I had, and I'm quite confident in my money management. However, he played that exquisitely, especially with him, you know, not being familiar with this meta. Again, another great game. So now it's 1-1 at this current point in time, and we go on to his losing map, which is Temple. I'm gonna skip past the initial part, because again, that's pretty much standardized with every start. yeah, just get the farms, you know, place your darts, spike, all that good stuff. I sent to 255 because I decided to try the 270 eco style start, because that allows you to afford your farm at 136 if you have a trip and a dart, an O2, but yeah, so he goes for a different spot than I do, which results in him leaking more. I actually think maybe he subscribes trip late, I'm not quite sure, I probably shouldn't have skipped forward that far, but constant sense here, which I disagree with. I don't think he should be sending reds, because, yeah, farms are going to be very important in this game. Not so much eco, especially if this turns into a BI game. Let's see that I'm like, okay, that's probably a mistake. Here I try that 270 thing I was on about. And I think I get bang on 270, yeah. I go for my trip instantly, because it's just not worth greeting. The lives are going to matter. So, yeah, I actually had my first trip on first there, unfortunately. So I leaked a few extra lives that I didn't necessarily have to leak. But yeah, just due to him ecoing a little bit more than I did, that's going to impact when he's going to get the farm, which is going to allow him to get a bit more of a lead. And early game farms I think are really, really important here. I actually sell my farmer to try and collect the bananas earlier, however that turned out to be unnecessary, as the eco, yeah, it was actually the eco that gave me it was actually the eco that allowed me to farm there, rather than the bananas. At this point in time I've got like a good 400 you know, money lead on him. I see him start sending greens. I kind of want him to really send me a lot here, so I don't instantly upgrade to the third trip dart. Yeah, I actually agree with the farm here, because I had the money spare. And I know that would force him to send me more, so I go for a trip here now just to clean up the leaks. Honestly, don't even leak that much. He's kind of under defending here, which means he could be able to catch up in farms with a high eco lead. But I don't really sweat that. I kind of... What do I do here? Oh yeah, I boost blacks at him, because I'm looking at his defense and I'm like, okay, that's probably going to force the third trip, because that's the ideal thing. He actually goes for a second farm, which is, yeah, what I was on about. If I've got more defense than him early, and he has more eco, then he can go for a farm with high eco, and that's just not an advantage. That's actually not ideal for me. So those booster blacks were intended to kind of just force the third trip rather than a spoil, because if I send greens, that would force a spoil round 7. I go for the farm knowing that I could tell my third trip dart to go for a spoil. He actually boosts yellows here, which is a very, very interesting move indeed. Unfortunately, I had the money to go for a second spot. I do leak a little bit here, but it's nothing to really be concerned about. I try and force the spot here, or bait it, but yeah, I sent enough, so that worked out well for me. Here I just solidified my farm lead by selling my second spot, and just go for the farm at this point, because I know he couldn't. If he did, then he wouldn't be able to afford a lead detection. He's out-ecoing us by a great margin. But due to the farm lead I have on him, I believe I can get BA while he's going to struggle to. Not impossible for him to, but it'll be like around 16, 17 BA, especially if I pressure him. But I don't believe that's the case. So try and bait a spot with a boosted rush, a very small rush. And luckily that did. That's why I kind of boosted it early as well, rather than later on. It's kind of like a bait rush to force defense with little rush. He is up on eco, but I'm just a massive farm lead here. All things considered, like being up a plantation in a DFA, in a BIA game, it's just so important, so important. I was considering going for the farm, but luckily I didn't, because I know round 13 is the thing where you can rush with zebras and stuff. He goes for a white-based rush, foiled up by a few things. For some reason he's treating this like offside or something like that, where he's playing aggro. So I sell my second spot. I just really try and get the farms, because I really want like a good yeah, I said I really want like a good BIA, because I know that right now he can't afford it, which means if I pull off the BIA and he's not able to, then I'm just at such a big lead there late game, and you know, it's just gonna put me in such a great position. At this point in time, I'm thinking I can go for a BIA at the end around 15. Shoot the money I have. He could be sending me a rush, which he does. However, I'm not really concerned about it much. Yeah, like, you know, because sports is just so good on this map. But I actually do end up boosting. That was kind of sketchy there. I knew that the re-rush that he would have to send me would be massive, so I'm not too concerned as to the thing. He actually does, and he boosts this, which means I'll cash out my BI here, and I'll just go for 3 jobs, which would pretty much defend anything on this map, balloons wise. Yeah, so I'm in just a great position because he doesn't have a BA and I do, which means regardless of how good and great his eco is, I'm just in such a great position versus him. Goes for some trips. Right now his priority should be just making me force out the BA, because if he forces me to sell the BA, then he wins pretty much. GG's and all that. But he doesn't seem to, which is, yeah, it's pretty good. So I sell my 2 unnecessary jugs, I go for the thing. If I was in his position, I would balloon boost him up with ceramics underneath, especially now I have to cash out for, you know, things that just put me in such an awkward position, and I would be forced to sell the BIA. However, that isn't the case. Yeah, like, it's probably even worth selling a farm just to boost fast cooldown ceramics underneath the wrong map. Like, near enough all out. I think that would have won him the game, even though I did have a nice eco lead on him. So I actually cash out here once again. I sell a few things, and I realise I've got enough money for a fan club, which means I'm just in a great position here. He does what I was worrying about, which is to follow up with the regen leads. I thought he was going to be sending more, which means I actually rebought the fan club, but I guess he just didn't send as much as I expected him to. So as you can see, he was ecoing pretty well this game. It wasn't necessarily hard eco, because he was going for more kill rushes like regen leads. But he was ecoing pretty well this game, but because of the BA is the BA, you know, I do catch up with him, and I'm in a great position money-wise. At this point I'm thinking, yo, I've pretty much won this. Since I've had to cash out twice, I won't be able to, you know, the lead won't be as great as if I didn't, but I'm chilling. I could boost that with him, try and force a boost. He somehow has the spare money to afford a second jug and a thing, and instead just jugs and, you know, spots. I think that's just so great. I think I'll go for a second spot here. Sorry, second jug. Yep, I do, and that just cleans up. It, like, honestly just wrecks. You know, destroys the rush. They're so dominant here. At this point in time, he's like, okay, so I'm not looking too good. I think I can, you know, get a great farm lead. I think my BA is chilling around 6k at this point, and it'll be 8k by the end of this round. I try and force out the factory by sending 3 Moabs. I'm like, okay, if I force the sell here, then he's just going to be in an awkward position. I think he tries to go for a fan club here, but in the end he does end up losing on this one. Yeah, again, another great game. You know, yeah, good game, because it honestly was. The Moabs were a bit of a risk, as they did drain my eco a lot by 150, but it ended up paying off. It ended up paying off, which was good for me. And now we move on to his second losing map, which was Steps. I end up going Darth on Bomb because I think that's just a really prominent strategy on this map. He goes DFA, which, you know, it's a shock to me, because I'm just not sure about DFA on this map. I start off with the darts, try and prevent leaks. He goes for I'm not even sure what kind of start this is. Again, it was probably another, you know, old gen start. I could go for the farm here, which I don't think is the right thing to do. I think I should have went for a trip initially. But yeah, because I still got the same amount of bananas as I would have if I went for the trip. However, I did leak unnecessary lives here. He's leaked out a lot here because of me sending early and he's not having the money for the trip. He goes for some blues. I think I'll just go for my dart here, yeah. I don't think I try and greed this. I start sending pinks to try and force his trip as best as possible. I try and go for the 270 eco point. You know, because then that just sets me good. I can get the farm for 42, so I actually send an unnecessary amount. Yeah, I could have sent one less and I could have afforded the farm pretty well. Right now we're looking great on lives. We are looking pretty good money-wise, and just overall just chilling quite well. He has an interesting spot in the sense that it's going to be better for like greens and stuff, but it's not going to be so good versus space balloons. We both go for the farm here. I have a bit of a money lead on him. Yeah, like a 300-ish one. He has a 30 eco lead on me, which is good for him. I go for a farm. He goes in for some greens. This actually is quite spooky for me, because I thought that he would just farm one. So yeah, I'm like, yo, I really don't have much money here. I try and send blacks to stop him sending, to force him to stop sending. But yeah, this is just a spooky spot for me. I was meant to micro my first trip to first, however, it looks like I didn't. Yeah, so I leaked quite a bit there. I just can't send blacks at this point, because I've got a bit of a farm lead and I just want to keep it, you know. I move into some yellows to try and bait the spot here, and, you know, the bait goes well, it gets baited. I'm not sure how much of a bait it is, because I actually did send quite a bit. I honestly didn't expect yellows from him at this point. Like, he plays aggro on some unusual maps while going, like, a passive strategy, like a passive factory, on other kinds, yeah, which is really just throwing me off, but... Yeah, so he's got about 100 eco lead on me. I have pretty much double his farms after I go for the plantation here. I can because I've got bomb, but he can't. Yeah, he's shocked at this, which means he knows I'm going whiz or something. Well, that's what I want to assume he's going to think. But that doesn't seem to be the case, because when I place the bomb tower. He goes for a jug, which I just didn't expect with how aggro he was playing. I apologise because I didn't go DFA. He harmonizes me because he's a great guy, and he's just nice, forgiven. So of course he balloon boosts at me, and I managed to afford the cluster bombs. And I balloon boost this at him to try and bait a boost because he's currently under defending. But yeah, so we force a boost. We go for the Juggernaut here while selling the cluster bombs. And right now I think I'm in a pretty good position. He goes for some zebras, which again I just wasn't expecting. Yeah, so I just boost this. So I'm quite confident that I'll be able to defend. Like, I think I can afford a fan club here. And I'll try and force a boost from him or something, or try and force a lot of defense. He actually has the boost off cooldown, which is, it puts me in a great position, but I can't really allow him, because he has ace, and ace is just so good, and I'm aware that he has great ace micro. I stupidly go for some more spots here, and then I have to buy that. I should have just went for cluster bombs rather than going for the spots. That was, yeah, I'm really looking pretty drained here. It's not a good position to be in. I also bought, yeah, two just O2s because I didn't have the money for them initially. It was kind of a panic thing, it wasn't really thought out. I'm like, yo, I need to force a boost here, because he's right now on a really good standings. So some pretty good layering. I could have done better, but it was some pretty good layering. I managed to force a boost. And I know I'm looking pretty good here. So I'll just boost this here, yeah, because I'm like, okay, so he's rushing me, but I'll be able to rush him here. Follow this up with some zebras, I'm like, okay, he's got an ODS, which means he's going to defend this. I'm really in a really bad position here. But he actually does choke this. The final score is 3-1 to me. But those were some great games, and he's a rusty player. Yeah, good game. Like, he hasn't played in a while, and he's just de-rusting. This isn't exactly his first game after coming back, but, you know, he's not 100% yet. I'd say he's playing around 80%, maybe 60% of his full potential, in that range. Overall, that was a great series, and that was to challenge my T20 position in the KOTH server. Speaking of, you should also check it out. If you like this, you know, like, comment, share, whatever. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.